We're going to go to jolly old England, where Sarah Davies is joining us. I love her. Hi, baby. It's good to see you again today.
Oh, good to see you. And do you know what, Suzanne? Since we launched this last night, the feedback, I've been on Facebook the last few hours reading what everyone's saying. People are going bananas. The ideas we've had flooding in of all the things you guys want to see us do. We had to do a product development call this afternoon to start and brainstorm some of the ideas, because of course this is the start of a whole new program for us. Now, before I get going, what I want to do is just pull up the regular size Gemini and show you it next to the big daddy machine that we've got now. And it really makes you appreciate that size. So we've only ever been able to work up to 9 inches now. The Gemini Pro, it is the Pro version for people doing this professionally, either a professional hobby or maybe you're someone who has a small business doing this. We can now work up to 12 inches, which means you can take this into your scrapbooking. And it's not, Suzanne, about having to buy loads more dies to work with this machine.
You're right.
It's about all the dies you already have now cutting into your scrapbook. So we do loads of specialist dies that are like cutted in special places. Now you can use like the border dies that come in with the Today's Special, use them on your side of your scrapbooks. Or perhaps you want to do gorgeous boxes like the one you saw me making in the video, and we can cut in with the dies that come included. I mean, this one for me is absolutely where you could be taking this. It's all about large sheet of card, positioning your die multiple times. In fact, should we have a go at doing one of those and I can show everyone? Because I think when you see the machine starting to be used, you really start to appreciate how much you can do. So I've got some of that gorgeous pearlescent card that you've got in the kit. Don't worry, if you manage to get the auto ship, which it sounds like we might even sell out of that one in your show, Suzanne, but yes, if you do get the auto ship, you're getting more card stock in each shipment. Those future shipments, you know, $50 odd each, but you're only paying $21.95. Now, if I show you that lovely card stock, I've already scored it to make the base box. And then what you can do is take the die, and I'm just positioning it in the side of the card here, and then little die cut, you're going to hold that in place with your tape. It's a regular Gemini, so it's the same sandwich as we do with all of our other Geminis. Clear cutting plate, magnetic, top plate, and then Suzanne, it is as simple as you offer it into the machine. I mean, if you notice, I'm operating those plates with one hand. You offer it in, it's going to feed all the way through, come straight out the back, and notice it's a bit quicker than the other Gemini machines. We've been able to speed it up, as well as making sure we've got that pressure over the whole surface. Now, straight in, I mean, that's cut, all of those, that's absolutely amazing. No problem. I mean, perfect. Yeah. So for anyone who was worried that, well, she can't possibly get that pressure all the way over a 12-inch surface. Actually, at one point, Suzanne, I was starting to question whether or not we'd be able to get that over a 12-inch surface. Our engineers, like you said, 2 years they've been on with this. You'd think it would be easy, but actually to get all the pressure right in the center of 12 inches was nigh on impossible. But we've worked at it until we've got there. Now, look at this. You could go all the way around the side, cutting out those box edges. It probably becomes about a 10-minute project. Once you've done all 4 corners, look how easy it is just to put those corners together, and you can see how you can make the lid of a box with all that beautiful cut-in detail, and it becomes like a 5-minute job. But it's not even about the speed, Suzanne. It's about the fact that without this, you would never, ever be able to do that.
Right.
So for me,
exactly right.
Whether you're doing the larger projects, a little bit like you, Suzanne, whether you're wanting to do all your card pass in one pass through there, whether it's convenience, it's speed, it's opening up a whole new world of possibilities, it's getting into the program for the auto ship, it's starting to get all the brand new dies, which all sold out on the launch last night, the new big jigsaws, the big album spines, everything we can now supersize. Today's the day to get into it. Here's the thing, Suzanne, I thought about putting some embossing folders in here, but if I put embossing folders in, all you can do is emboss. Whereas because the Gemini has so much pressure, you can actually use your embossing mat to emboss your stencils. So look at this, I've got my base plate, I'm going with my clear, then with my embossing mat, and then look what I've done. I've taken just a sheet of cardstock here, And I'm going to take this and place the stencil on the top so that it pushes through the stencil, okay? In fact, you know what? Do you want me to do it? Yeah, I'll do it. Sure. I'll do it with one of the nice patterned ones, Suzanne, and then you might be able to see it a little bit easier on the camera, okay? So we're going to push that emboss all the way through. And then when you've got your embossing mat, you don't need your magnetic, you just want your top plate. So the thing is, Suzanne, with each of these, we're giving you the 2 in the Today Special today, but then you're also going to get every future auto ship. And by the way, those auto ships are completely exclusive to HSN. It's your only chance today to get in that program. But can you see, you get that beautiful emboss.
Fabulous.
Isn't it? So that then becomes like an embossing folder.
Yes.
But, I mean, I was going to show you this one here. What I'd done is I'd done it on the white. I'd left the stencil in place and then inked through. And then that is what I've used to make this gorgeous little box.
Oh my
gosh. So
gosh.
it's all about having the larger space. And then your other stencils, if I just show you these, and I'm going to take the credit for this because this is my idea, this one, okay? So what we've done is we've designed these templates. Now, if I was to make one of these as a die, Suzanne, you'd be talking $50 just for the die. But to do it as a stencil, and it's very easy to cut the lines, it becomes a fraction of the cost. But what we do is we do a stencil with 4 of these to cut into the gaps so that you can make boxes with beautiful kind of see-through elements, and you've got that lovely rounded one, and then also you've got the little one with the heart on the top.
So
now,
cute.
in your order ships, you get more new different boxes every time with different die cuts that are like mini creator cards, but then you're good at, so that's, for example, one of the boxes from the order ship. So that different shape on the top, that comes up in an auto ship, but everything interchanges with the new ones. Trust me when I say today's the launch of a whole new program, Suzanne, that we're going to take you on that journey of exploration, and you kind of got a chance to get in with it at the beginning. And then whether we do the large album spines, the jigsaws, larger dies for scrapbooking, larger purse dies, you're going to have the equipment to be able to take advantage of that. In that video, this is it, Suzanne, right? So basically, I had a whole one of the larger plates laid out. So if you're doing things like wedding invites, look, I've got my base card with my die cut built in. Then I've got all the mats and layers. Then I've got all the flowers. And basically what you do is you can just send this through, but leave all these connected on your magnetic mat. And then once it's gone through, take one lot off, lay your papers on, cut it through again, next lot, lay your papers on, cut it through again, next lot. So those of you who have a small business doing wedding invites, party invitations, your batch making cards, it becomes so much quicker and easier. You're more efficient, Suzanne. So whether it's your thing of wanting to get the whole card in one, or whether it's you need to make 200 of the same card and you can just bash them out in an afternoon, it's everyone who does it. If you're someone who uses this professionally, whether it's your small business or you're just a very, very serious die cutting enthusiast, it's going to take your crafting onto that next level.
If I have the original Gemini, I can take those plates and still work those inside this machine.
You can. So in the same way that you can use your junior plates sideways in your Gemini, you can take your Gemini plates, turn them sideways, and of course they're 12 inches lengthways. So it means you can use all the plates you already have for an even quicker pass through your machine. Now, I tell you what I wanted to touch on, Suzanne, and this is not me being a tease. I wanted you to see what sort of things are you going to be able to do with the new programs we have. So today at midnight, you and I launched loads of our new programs. So for example, we've done loads of memory albums in the past, always little mini tiny ones, 4x6. Now you can do the memory album spine. We did the larger die for you to do either a 10-inch or an 8-inch spine, and we did the dies because we've got the larger machine to cut them. So they will be coming back in stock. But the thing is, Suzanne, if you wait till they come back in stock, then the machine's going to be back up to $499. You're going to be paying $22 to get it home, and then you're not going to be getting the $100 worth of freebies, and you'll have missed out on the auto ship. So that's why I kind of want to, it's not me teasing you, it's me giving you the heads up. And it was the same. I really like everyone to see that jigsaw die that you and I were playing with yesterday. So let me just show you. If I take, I've got the metal plate in here, and I've got a picture of my boys here that I think will just make an awesome jigsaw. This I've stuck onto mount board, so super strong. This is your wonderful big jigsaw puzzle die that sold out. We didn't even get to present it last night, Suzanne, did we not?
Sold out before we got to it.
Sold out pretty much before we started. So you're going to go with your clear clear plate and your top plate. And what I'm trying to demonstrate here, Suzanne, is even over a 10-inch by 8-inch surface, you've still got enough pressure in the Gemini. I mean, you can hear, I don't know if you can hear from there, I can hear how much harder it's working to cut every piece of that 48-piece jigsaw puzzle to absolute perfection in the thickest material. I could have just demonstrated this with some thick cardstock, Suzanne, but I've actually taken a mount board so that you can see where you could be taking it. Then look at this.
That's the cutest thing, guys.
That is the cutest.
And it's sold out.
And we will be getting it back straight away. But you see how the onto mount board are falling into place. Suzanne, those of you who've started a small business in lockdown or you're thinking about it, these are the sort of tools that you need to be able to turn your hobby into an actual career. You know, you could be selling these on Etsy and charging a fortune for this sort of thing. This is what you can do now with your Gemini Pro.
All right, Sarah, where do you want to take us next? What else do you want to show us that might surprise us?
Yeah, I wanted to use one of those extra freebies that's coming in with your today's special, and bear in mind you'll get that also with your future order ships. Now, we do the set of the die, so sorry, you get 4 of these cut-in dies as well as that box shaping in there as well. But even if we don't use this box, these are fabulous cut-in dies. So what I'm doing is I'm using the positioning on the magnetic plate to get those perfectly lined up in the place. I've done my scoring on here using my ultimate. I'm going to lie that into place over the board here, put all this into here, and then we're going to send this through the Pro. And what it will do is, they're like mini creator cards, Suzanne. So they're going to position those creator cards right exactly where you need them to cut in on the corners. And again, you're doing these as wedding favours, it's a one-pass wonder. You know, one pass in your card straight out. Look at that. I mean, I don't even have to pop the bits out, Suzanne.
Brilliant.
And then you're going to bring this, you're going to thread in a little bit of cardstock, and this is going to bring you one of those gorgeous bonbon boxes that you can do. And you can see there, that's in the lovely lime green.
Oh my gosh.
And then there it is in the peach. I mean, Suzanne, these cost pennies to make and look outstanding.
It just dawned on me too. Think about when you do your big card dies and how many pieces and parts there are to create a single card. Like say a trifold that has the little circle that opens and closes. Oh my gosh, taking all those pieces and doing one pass. Like then everyone's gonna use all these fabulous dies they have, because now it doesn't take 20 passes to get a card or a project done. That one was a brilliant example, girls, of how one pass and wow, you're done. A little scoring, a piece of 12 by 12, and there's not another machine out there that can do that. Not any other machine. This is the only one. Hey, Sarah, a couple of questions that people are asking. Can I use all my embossing folders, my traditional embossing folders?
Absolutely. If you're using your 2D folders or you're cut and emboss, you're using the 2 outer plates. If you're doing 3D folders, you're using the clear plate, the magnetic, and the frosted plate. Every folder you have, Suzanne, you could be doing 4 or 6 of them at a time. Just stack them all up straight through.
You know, it's funny, Sarah, because when you really start thinking about it, you go, oh my gosh, the time savings is insane.
Whether it's like you saw in the video and people who are doing wedding stationery, party invitations, and they want to batch make and get a little circuit, little line going there. Yeah. This is going to do all of that for you. What, you just lie all of your dies out. This is if you're doing your wedding invites, Adam. Lay everything on the plate straight through the machine. Now, it comes with 12 by 12 plates in. We did have the 12 by 18. They completely sold out. We will be getting these back. But look how easy it is to just put everything together. One batch done, second batch done, third batch done, and you can literally just put the cards together and make a whole set of wedding invites in an afternoon. Now, we've called it the Pro because when I put this together, I envisaged it would be for professional people.
Right.
So people who did this as not just a hobby, but as a small business. And there's so many people got into this during lockdown. Small business people, you need efficiency, you need speed, you need flexibility. But actually, the people who've been buying it today are just the hardcore die cutters at home who are die cutting all day, every day. Let me just show you how it works, Adam. If I want to do, for example, a scrapbook, how many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of dies have you spent to only using card making?
Right.
Whereas now, 12 by 12 sheet, if I want to cut into the 12 by 12 sheet like this, watch, I'm just going to take one of the sheets of card that's included. I'm going to get one of the dies that's included in the set and just position it exactly in place on the plate there. Now, if you're familiar with the regular Gemini, this will all make sense now. You're going to go with your clear cutting plate, you're going to pop your magnetic on the top, you're going to go with your other top clear cutting plate, and then watch you offer this into the mouth of the machine. You've got all the pressure that you've come to expect from a regular Gemini machine, but our engineers have managed to engineer it over 12 inches. I think it was 2 years in the making. And it is literally, I mean, it takes seconds. Look how that, you just get a perfect cut.
Yeah.
And then again, you can just position it down for the next one in place, lie it on there, put all your plates together, and you're straight ready to go through for the next one. It's so simple to use. And I think if you've got the space, that's the only limitation for me. I know not everybody has a permanent craft room able to put a piece of machinery out like this. But if you have the space, this will become your absolute workhorse machine. I mean, look at that. I've just die cut a 12 by 12 scrapbook page in about a minute.
Wow.
And that is just cut to absolute perfection, Adam. And this is one of the papers, one of the dies that is coming today in your Today Special as a bonus, because when this machine does launch at retail, and it's not going to be for another 6 months or so, it won't hit the stores, when you do, it's going to be $499 just for the machine.
Right.
So your Today Special is $50 off the machine and over $100 worth of extra product thrown in.
And we're going to dive more into that because there's so much goodies that Sarah and the team are throwing your way. You just saw near laser-like detail there. The precision is extraordinary.
About fabric crafting, right?
Yes.
So those of you who do any sort of fabric crafting, look what I did. I got out one of my quilts that I'd done ready for the show. So this is using our builder blocks. So you need so many half square triangles, so many quarter squares, so many of this, so many of that. And then look what I've done. I've laid out the whole lot on one pass through the machine.
This is brilliant.
So I can literally get every piece for a whole quilt block. And then all you're doing, because we can go through up to 8 layers of fabric, you're just going to put on your base plate. We're cutting into the magnetic. You're then going with your top plate here. We're going to put our other plate on top there. And even though we've got to cut 8 layers of some of these fabrics, my life has just become 10 times quicker. I mean, I know I do a lot of patchworking, and I like to always do it, but it's 2 or 3 passes through the Gemini machine.
Right.
And also it is massive wear and tear on your plates, the sheer pressure of cutting 8 layers. These plates are reinforced a special type of plastic. So look, absolutely no warping whatsoever. You're going to be able to send them through, and then look, it's cut through.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's cut all
So you've
8
actually
layers
made
of fabric.
8 of your panels basically in one pass. So I mean,
pass
think about
through.
all those things you guys want to do, but because you don't want to do 8 million passes, and also it's cut so much more accurately.